Morgan.
Thank you for being with us here today. Today is a special day for us because it is
National Perler Day.
It is National Perler Day. So what better day to make a perler project with all our friends? It looks like we have a few extra friends logging on. So we're just going to take a minute. We'll tell you what we're doing. We'll wait for everybody to get online and then we'll get started. So do you want to tell them what our project is today?
Today we are going to be making perler bead fruit bag tags and little bookmarks.
So exciting, right?
Very.
We're really excited. So let's talk about the supplies that we need for today's project. So the most important supply, of course,
You'll need your perler beads.
you'll need your perler beads. So what we are using today is the perler bead tray, and we picked this up at Michael's. We like the tray because it is already pre-sorted. All the colors are already in their organized parts, but we also use a jar that we have at home. We have an 11,000 bead jar at home. It's all mixed together, but that's still fun if you have that. So if you don't have the tray, don't worry, you can use any perler beads that you have at home. Any color. Just because we're making a watermelon pink today doesn't mean that you can't be creative, right?
Like you can put your watermelon as like blue or maybe purple.
Anything you want. Today is the day to get creative and just have fun. Also, when you buy the tray, you get a book of over 400 patterns. So after today, you can either make a different fruit or you can also go into the pattern book and pick out some different things to make. You can also go to perler.com. We have tons of free patterns. So after today, you can log on, download more patterns to use your beads. So besides the perler beads, we also will need a large clear pegboard today. We also will need the ironing paper. Ironing paper comes in the tray. You can also buy ironing paper separate. And then of course the iron. So make sure everybody has mom, dad, a grandparent, someone around to use the iron. That's hot. We don't want any of the kids using the iron. Please make sure we have an adult nearby when it's time to do that portion of the craft. The iron cannot have water in it, nor be a steam iron, just a plain iron. So you have some supplies we also need.
For the bookmarks, you will be needing some thick white glue, but we chose to use Elmer's.
Right, so it could be any craft glue. We're going to use Elmer's glue today.
You will also need popsicle sticks for the bookmarks. This is to actually make it a bookmark.
So it's also a craft stick. It's a bag of craft sticks. And then we have the rings. So you want to show what the bookmark looks like in the journal. So in a journal or a book. And then we need the rings. So we are using these clip rings that we got at Michael's. We got the bigger ones. We thought it was a better idea. That way we can make more than one bag tag.
And it can,
you could put a few fruit on here.
Yeah.
And then in the email that your parents received from Michael's after signing up from the class are the patterns. So the patterns should look like this. They're downloadable, print at home patterns. And that's what we're going to use today. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So which craft do we want to do first? We're going to do the bookmarks. So we're going to start with the bookmarks. So we have our pattern sheet that was printed out, and we're going to lay our clear pegboard on top.
Which bookmark are you going to be doing?
I'm going to make the strawberry.
I'm going to make the orange that has a neon orange color.
Correct. Okay. So these are Perler tweezers. They weren't a necessity for today. I like to use the tweezers.
And I like to use my little hands.
She likes to use her hands. It's just a little bit easier for me for the tweezers. And everybody perlers a different way. I like to put the beads in my hand and take them out of my hand.
I like to do it by color.
By color, one by one. So I say we get started. I'm going to do the strawberry, and on the side is your color key. And if you want to follow the pattern exact, we just go by the key. But if you want to get creative, that's when you can put other beads in there. So I'm going to start with the green.
I'm doing the orange, the neon orange.
And you love oranges. Is that one of your favorite fruits?
Not my favorite. I
Yeah.
do have a favorite, and my ultimate favorite is watermelon.
Watermelon.
And my second favorite is pineapple.
Pineapple, okay. We would love to hear from our friends and find out today what their favorite fruit is. There's a Q&A on the site that you guys are on right now, and we would love for you to type in there and tell us some of your favorite fruits. I do like strawberries.
I love strawberries too.
And although these are bookmarks, you could also use this as a garden marker. You could put this in your garden if you're, growing a certain fruit, or if you're growing a watermelon, you could put it in your garden as a marker. How's it going?
It's going good for me. How's you going?
It's going great.
She's doing STEM.
So I'm going by color. I like to get all the green done first.
Same. I like to go by color, but I like to do it in my hand, then do the color.
Yeah, this way. Ooh, we're hearing pineapples. You like pineapples too.
I love
Ooh, and a raspberry. Honeydew. That's awesome. Thanks, guys. So with the bookmarks and the bag tags, some of us might be going to school virtually from home. Some might be going into a classroom, but it doesn't matter. These bag tags aren't necessarily for a book bag or a lunch bag. We could use them on a gymnastics bag or cheer bag, a sport bag. You have a bag tag we just made. What bag do you have that on?
My viola.
Your viola bag. And bookmarks. I mean, we read year round. I'm sure most of our friends online today read all year. So these are great. They make a great little gift. When you do see your teacher, I'm sure they would love if you made them a bookmark. I moved on to red.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know how we're doing, if we're going too fast,
Too
if
slow.
everybody's keeping up. Give us the thumbs up. In school, we're getting ready for school. What's your favorite subject?
Arts. Can you tell us what your favorite subject is?
Yes, we would love to hear. We would love to hear. I always loved art class. I've moved on to the red for my strawberry. And sometimes the board moves, so you just gotta line it back up again. And that's no big deal. There we go. What's another?
We gotta slow down a little.
Okay.
Slow.
We will slow down. That's no problem. And we can also, the iron will take a little time to heat up. We'll go through how to iron properly. I usually do move a little faster than Morgan because I'm using the tweezers. Ooh. Math class.
Math is actually my second favorite.
Second favorite subject.
But I love to learn.
That's awesome. Yeah, when you count the beads.
That's good math.
It is good math. It's a combination of math class and art class together. So also today we want to make sure that when we're completing our projects, that if mom or dad can post it on social media, we have a couple hashtags, and if you use the hashtags, we can go back and check out your projects, and we would love to see them. So you can hashtag Perler, and you can also hashtag Make It With Michaels. We would love to go back and see what you guys did today.
You hashtag Make It With Michaels, and we can see it.
We can see it, and we'll do that. We'll post a picture, you'll see us if you go back and check it out. Ooh, sometimes beads go flying. So hopefully our speed is a little bit better. You guys take your time. We've got plenty of time. Straighten out my board. I'm just going to keep going with red. Some people that Perler, they go in order of the pattern, not necessarily the order of the color. It's just whatever you're more comfortable with. So this pegboard, how many, here's a trivia question. So we're using this large pegboard. How many Perler beads do you guys think would fit on this board? Put that in the Q&A. Let's see who gets closest to that. It's a pretty big board. And you see where my strawberry is so far. So without counting the pegs, tell us how many, right? How many beads do you think we'll get on here?
And if you count, you're out.
It's okay. I'll use my finger for a minute.
So we've got some guesses. 300, 1,000.
300, 1,000. Well, 300's not enough.
250. 476.
Thanks.
476.
476, okay.
Wow.
Okay, so it's higher than 476. 700's getting closer. And 900's a little too high. Keep guessing. Let's see if anybody gets it. 800 is close. Okay, so someone said 850, and that is really close. All right. So Charlotte and Claire came in at 850, and the answer, oh, 840. We have some friends helping us here today. They're giving us your answers. So 841 is the answer. So you guys that were close to 840.
That was really close, you guys.
That was really close.
Well,
So here's where you can get creative. Here's the strawberry I'm working on. And the seeds in the strawberry are yellow. You can make them any color. I am going to stick with the pattern today. But you can really change that up and make it any color. How's it going over there? I love that bright orange. So my favorite Perler color is hot coral. It's a really cool hot pink. How about you guys? Do you have a favorite Perler color? What's your favorite color? Do you have one?
My favorite is mint toothpaste.
Is toothpaste, yeah. So we have some great names for colors too. Toothpaste, and it really looks like toothpaste. You're okay. Just move the pattern around. There is no messing up.
Oh, I can't find it.
There you go. Just move it over this way.
No, but where's all the white then?
That's fine. Just fill it in any color. You're good. Let me have this back. It's no big deal.
So I can just fill in the rest with
You
white?
sure can. I'm going to start my yellow. You take your time. You put them wherever you want. So any favorite Perler colors out there? Let us know. Put it in the Q&A.
Let's see, we've got a teal, a purple.
Ooh, teal.
Teal.
Teal's my favorite color
Of all time.
of all time.
Glow in the dark.
Oh, yeah. So we have glow in the dark. There's stripes. There's all kinds of different Perler beads.
Like this neon orange. We have neon colors.
Mhm.
Yes, I have a lot for neon pink, hot pink.
We have a neon pink right now.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. How are you guys doing?
Too slow? Are we going too fast?
Right on. You good?
Yep.
Teachers love these.
They
Oh,
do.
yeah. Well, they love to see kids with books and bookmarks, right? Who's your favorite teacher, Morgan? Do you have a favorite teacher?
I have an old time.
Yeah, who is it?
Miss Moyer.
Miss Moyer. You guys have a favorite teacher? Tell us. We would love to hear.
sparkles in it.
Ooh.
We have
Glitter.
it's right.
Yeah, that's here. It's in the tray. It has some sparkles on it. Take your time. You're doing good. Thank you. I finished my strawberry. I'm just lining up, make sure I got everything.
And when you guys finish, go get an adult or parent or an aunt or grandmother, whoever you're with, to go and iron your little
Project.
Yes.
Right. So now would be the time, you know, just as you're getting close, maybe getting them in the room, time to heat up the iron. Remember, no water in the iron, no steam.
Just the regular
We have
iron.
ours plugged in.
Waiting.
So while Morgan finishes her project, I'm going to start to iron. But again, I'm not trying to rush anybody. Take your time. So here's the ironing.
You guys can wait with me.
What school she goes.
Oh, what school do you go to? Someone wants to know.
I go to a Watton Creek Elementary.
Watton Creek Elementary, right. So we are in our Perler lab, right?
Yes.
Here today, celebrating National Perler Day, and we are in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. And so our Perler lab is where all our product development takes place. So right here in Wyomissing, PA is where we design the beads and the patterns and bring all this cool Perler product to all our friends.
And it is really cool here.
It is cool here. So here's the ironing paper. Just unfold that and get it ready. And I'm going to grab my iron, put this on top of your project. Isabella chatted in and said she likes all her teachers. That's so nice. So I'm going to start to iron. And again, please grab a parent for this. So when I iron the Perler project, it's a little bit of pressure. I use a circular motion, and you will see that as the paper and the Perler beads start to heat up, you'll be able to see them through the ironing paper. And you'll see the beads start to fuse together. I'm going to check on this. You guys take your time because Morgan is still doing her project.
Still doing it.
I can iron mine, and then it has to cool, and we can wait for Morgan to get done with hers. So please take your time.
Someone sent me a picture to clip their pattern to the pegboard with sewing or quilting clips. So it doesn't move.
Wow.
That's very smart.
Yeah, we just got a tip that came in using some clips.
To hold your pegboard down so your beads won't go down, or your pegboard won't move.
So you can see that the Perler beads are starting to come through melted. You can see that through.
That's the normal iron.
Okay, so the iron temperature, it's like a medium heat, not too hot. And you really have to keep an eye on it. This is just a regular household iron that we're using. I personally like to see them fuse together like you can see now on my project to know that they're not going to fall off the board. And then I keep the other side of the beads pretty open. So you can check it. It is warm. You have to be careful. So once I think this is fused together, then I take my board and I flip the project like this. And then I take the board off. I put it aside, and then just to make sure that it is fused together, I take my ironing paper and I fold it on top to cover it again. And I take my iron and just give it a quick, just a little bit of pressure. I don't like to see the beads close. Some people do. Lift off my ironing paper. And there's my strawberry. And now this was good timing because I finished my strawberry and now Morgan is ready
Are we
to
going too
have me
fast or too slow?
to
Please
iron.
guys.
So I'm going to put this aside and let it cool. And I'm going to grab Morgan's project.
Because if you just touch it, it's going to be really hot and then you're going to burn yourself. So don't do that.
And we have another piece of ironing paper here. this over. And again, my iron is still on a medium heat.
Not harder than that.
Yep. I can't wait to see everybody's projects. Please make sure you do use the hashtag, the Make It With Michaels and the Perler, hashtag Perler. Yep, you can see it through the paper starting to come through.
When you like see it through the paper, you know like it's starting to melt together.
Yeah.
And that's a good sign because that means it's working.
That's right. It is definitely working. Check it out again. You can see this bottom
Ooh.
row. I might want to fuse that a little bit longer. You guys take your time. If we're going too fast, we could always make one more. Okay, so check it out. Again, I take my board.
And you're gonna
Flip it over. Take my board off. I love the bright colors. Cover it by folding my ironing paper. Yep, and you just keep your hand away from the iron, honey. You move your hand away. And just give it a little extra. Ta-da! Oh, I love it. It screams summer. So I'm going to put my iron aside so there's no accidents. And we're going to put the orange aside. Let's see if this is cool enough to touch now. Oh, yes. So now we can get out a popsicle stick, a craft stick. You want to do that?
glue.
And the glue. Okay, so move this up so you have room. Put it here. We're going to
I
turn
got
it
my
on its
popsicle
back.
stick.
Yep.
And then now I'm gonna put like a big little dab at the very top glue. Gotta open it first. I didn't open it. I was like, well,
That's good.
should look like this. Then you want to put the
You're
little.
going to do this part?
So we're doing
Yep.
that way.
Exactly.
And then you want to put it your perler.
Yep. And
Bead
just fold the
first.
stick like this.
And you got to count to 10
Ooh,
seconds.
Okay, go ahead.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
1. And there's our strawberry bookmark.
But now you just want to put it to the side so the glue can
Let's
dry.
let the glue dry. Okay, so put it over here.
And
And then you're ready to do
The orange.
the orange slice.
Again, I'm got my popsicle stick.
Sure. So if anybody missed the ironing, because we might have gone a little too fast, once you have your board filled with your perler beads, you take the ironing paper and you lay it on top of your project. And then with your medium heat iron, what I like to do is just give it a little bit of pressure, and I use a circular motion. And as you start to iron on the paper, when you remove the iron, you will see the beads start to come through the ironing paper. They'll become transparent, and you'll be able to see them start to melt. So I continue to iron in a circular motion. I see them fuse together. I put the iron aside. Sometimes I even check just to make sure that they're sticking. And then I take my whole project and board and flip it. And then because one side is completely fused, when you bring up the board, it should pretty easily pop off. And then a trick that someone else showed me is folding the paper right on top. And then you iron it again. You don't have to iron it as long as you did the first time to fuse them together. And then you'll see the beads stay open. And that's how I wanted the bookmark to look. So I made sure that when I was ironing the front of the bookmark. I didn't do it as long. That way the beads stayed open like this.
But now I have my glue and I'm going to put my little orange on.
Correct. You're going to count down again?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Straighten it out. The glue still has to dry. So,
10,
no, you're
No.
fine.
8, 7,
6, 5,
5,
4, 3, 2, 1. And voila, a bookmark.
Now it is time to do the little bag tags.
Yeah, let's make sure everybody's caught up with us before we move on to the next project.
Question on whether the ironing paper can be reused.
The
Yes.
ironing paper can be reused, and that is what is great about it, I think. So again, if you purchase the tray, one piece came in the tray, but then you can also buy packs of ironing paper in case you do lose it or set it aside. But yes, you can reuse it and reuse it, which is great. So we'll put those aside for our next project.
And now we are going to be doing the little bag tags.
So,
Get your paper.
so now we need to get the printable bag tag. Here it is, honey.
Thank you.
So
And I'm
again,
going to be doing the watermelon.
and then I'm going to do the apple.
Here's the apple for you.
Okay.
But here's the thing. You have to leave a hole. As you can
Right.
see, it has a red line say hole for chain. If you do not leave that hole, then the chain won't be going on like this.
Right. So you'll see on your pattern, like Morgan said, it indicates where to leave a bead out. So that's not meant for a white bead. That's meant to leave open, and then your ring will go right through your bag tag. So we're going to get started, but take your time. Let us know. Let us know if we're going too slow, too fast. Okay, so I'm going to do the apple. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is a fun apple. It has stripes in it. There's pink and red stripes.
And it also has like a little white square for like a shiny
Wormhole.
What?
Wormhole.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so again, I'm going to go in order of color. That's
Same.
just how I prefer to do it. And I'm going to put the beads in my hand first.
What I'm doing right now is I'm just doing like a square with all the colors around the hole so I don't forget the hole.
Okay, that's smart. And we can double check at the end if someone put a bead there by accident. We can take it out.
Oop, I put it there by accident.
We'll do all the green first.
Now I'm going to be doing a little bit some white. Oop,
You're going to do the white around your watermelon.
not the whole entire thing, like around the whole chain.
Put this on a swim bag if anybody's using a
Ooh.
swim bag right now.
Anybody's in quarantine, you can hang it like on, make a little shelf or something.
Right. And again, if you don't have these colors, it does not matter.
You
can
can be creative.
make it any color you want.
Your apple can be maybe blue, and your watermelon can be maybe brown or something.
Doesn't matter at
Purple,
all.
whatever you want.
So adjust the board.
Next time I'm gonna probably use that tip.
You have to adjust the board.
No, to put the board down with clips.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna probably do that next time. My board keeps on moving. Now I'm gonna be doing my white all around my watermelon.
Okay, yeah, finish the green. So I'm going to do these couple of black and then move on to the body of the apple.
Remember the hole. What are you guys doing right now? Which color are you guys working on right now?
That's a good idea. Are they sticking with the color of the project, or did they decide to get creative? I can't wait to see.
Or are you doing the watermelon? Are you doing the apple?
See what everybody says, right?
Yes.
Want to get your bead up with your bead sweeper? So sometimes we drop a few beads and we have this cool product. It's a bead sweeper. And you go right over and pick some up.
And then how do you get it out? Is yours like a little tap?
Yep. And then you dump it back in your jar.
Or your hand, because I gotta sort mine out.
Yep, because you want to put it back in the tray. We love this.
We do
So we'll
love
just put
this.
this aside. We might need it again.
I've been using that like all day.
All right, so I'm going to start my apple. And again, I'm sticking with the color key on this pattern sheet. And when you go to Perler.com for the other patterns, there are so many animals and fruits and food. And tell them about the pattern that you love on Perler.com.
So if you guys go to Perler.com on Facebook.
That's on the website,
On the
which is
website.
Perler.com.
If you hit on it, there's like all these different stencils and
Patterns.
Patterns.
Which is the one that you like that we did?
The 3D waffle with chocolate chips, syrup, butter, and a plate.
It's really cute. So there's some really creative patterns on the website. We also did a cool microphone, and then we were having some pretend play with the microphone.
With
so there's a lot of fun
karaoke.
things you can do with Perler beads. And today is the day, since it's National Perler Day.
National Perler Day.
And this one's going to take a little bit longer because it is a larger stencil.
And I have a question for you guys. Can you guys guess when was Perler beads invented in the U.S.?
When did they come to the United States?
Can you guess?
Do we have the answer to that?
I know it.
You do know? Okay, well, let's wait. Let's wait and see what everybody says.
Can I whisper to you?
No, let's wait. How's it going over there?
Going great. Oh my God, you're like halfway done. I'm not even close. I'm still doing my white.
Mm-hmm. Great job.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Maybe for your stripes, you want it to be maybe blue and green for your apple or something.
Could be. Anything. This is where you can really get creative.
Very creative.
And some people do really like using their hands and not the tweezers.
Like me.
Let's see, we had a bunch of guesses. Come in 1990, 1867,
Whoa.
2000, 2010, 1970.
1970 is a close guess. Wait, no, it isn't. Sorry.
Are we asking our Perler friends the answer to the question? When did it come to the United States?
Okay, got it.
You want to tell the answer now that we know?
81.
1981.
1981.
Our Perler trivia. Great job, Morgan. How's it going?
I'm good. I'm still on my way.
That's okay.
The watermelon's going to be taking a while, but that is okay because it's for you, you know? Me for a gift, anybody. At least if it is a gift, they know that you did work hard on it. And
For sure.
if it isn't a gift, you still worked hard on it.
For sure.
School colors or
That's a great idea.
Ooh,
Thanks,
that's good.
Patty. Patty put in a Q&A
That is a tip.
suggestion, right? A Perler tip that you could make these your school colors.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, I'm on my pin.
Great idea.
And I'm gonna be
I'm
using
moving
this
on to red.
now.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
large paper clips for bookmarks. That would be really cute. The oversized.
The oversized.
That's awesome.
How you guys doing? Are we doing too fast, too slow?
I know, because I'm going at a different speed as you, but that's no big deal. Just keep going, you're fine. Makes it so fun.
But there is one rule in Perler
What's that?
that has to happen today,
What's that?
or else you're not a Perler pro. You have to have fun.
That's right. You have to have fun. That is so true, especially on National Perler Day.
Because it's National Perler Day, you know?
I love your hot pink over there.
Thank you. I'm going to actually change up some of the seats, only like 2.
And not put in as many. So that's another thing you can do. Instead of changing the color, Morgan's just going to put in less seeds, which is no big deal.
Maybe change up some spots too.
So today we're using the large, clear pegboard, but we do have pegboards that are in shapes. Keep going.
Square. We're using the square.
We are using the square, but we have some different shapes too. I think I brought some today. So here's a turtle and a flower. So these are also cool. So if you can just be really creative with the colors that you're using, you don't need a pattern. You could just buy the pegboard that's in the shape.
Now I'm just going around and doing random seeds forever.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
And we have a couple of the shaped pegboards at home, and they're fun.
Yes. And if you guys also like buy like probably like a 8,000 or 800 or like whatever you want, 1,000 jar. They
So
also come in there.
it's an 11,000 jar is what you and I have at home.
Yes, but like whatever jar. you buy.
The pegboards are separate.
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you. I'm leaning a little so I can like get the perfect spot.
Hopefully everybody's doing okay.
Too fast, we're going too slow.
You say too fast, but
Okay.
you're at 2 different speeds. so
Okay.
you're good.
Yeah, Morgan is taking her time too,
I'm
so
not
we're
even
good.
halfway done, so
That's all right. Just keep going.
you're with me. How long have you been purling for?
A long time.
How long have you guys been purling for?
Yeah, that's a great question
Thank you.
to ask. Tell us how long you've been using your perler beads and being creative, and
Because we want to see those artistic people.
yeah, we do. Love it.
Question if they don't have the metal ring, so they can use string or
Okay.
Yes, you can use
You
it.
keep going. So we have a question that if we don't have the metal ring, that's no big deal at all. You can use any kind of string or yarn that you have at home, a ball chain for a keychain, and you could use anything. So any kind of string that you have would work just great. Just make sure that you're leaving out the hole, which we'll remind you before we start to iron as well.
Because if you iron it with the hole,
Then
then
we'll
you
struggle.
can't like put the thing
Right.
on, or maybe some string, whatever you want.
Yep. Yeah, so now I have my white to do, and I'll be done, but Morgan still has a bunch to do on hers.
A bunch. But that's okay. Right?
Of course.
That is okay.
Yep.
You're working on the white, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pamela's been Perler since March.
Ooh, that's a long time.
Since March, Pamela.
I've been purling for probably 2 years now.
At least. At
No.
least. We've been doing this a long time.
3 years. I've been doing it for 3 years.
Keep going.
It's been my special thing I like to do.
So I'm all done, and then you'll see right here is where the opening, I'll move it away from the pattern so you can see. This is where I'm going to leave the hole when we're ready to iron.
Oh.
And this is a great family activity. We like to do it together.
Yes.
Good job. Keep going. You want to use the tweezers, or are you good with your hands? Okay.
Sometimes your beads can go on top of each other, and you can't get them with your hands. We have these little tweezers, but if you don't have tweezers, that's all right. Just keep on drawing.
Yep, just keep going. You might be a little quicker with your hands.
No, it's actually with these.
Okay.
We're watching this.
So I'm going to heat up my iron again and make sure that that's ready.
But if you guys are like, well, where's the apple hole? It's in between the stem and the leaf.
So can you hand me the ironing papers on your side?
Remember, they are reusable, and this is reusable from last time with the little bookmarks. Yeah.
All right, so you just keep going.
Yeah.
All right, so again, and I'll go slow on this because I think some people missed the ironing the last time, and I apologize about that. But so I'm ready to iron, and I'm going to take my ironing paper and lay it on top, and my iron is on medium heat. You just keep going, Morgan, okay?
Okay.
And so I do like a medium pressure.
Still my pink.
And here you can see as the beads are coming through the paper that they are starting to fuse. I go in a circular motion, make sure you're getting the edges so that all the beads are fusing together. The iron down, I like to check it out. Need a little bit more on one side. See, they're all starting to fuse together. And then I take my, use your hands, Morgan, I think it's a little bit easier. Flip it over.
No. Doesn't matter. Oh, there's a runaway bead.
Keep going, babe. And then move my pattern, and then I just flip over, I fold over the ironing paper, and do the top. You're good. So hopefully you guys are getting the iron down. It took me a little while till I could. Yeah, I got a good iron. And there you have it. Oh, so cute. And then it could be a little warm. Mine's okay.
Oh.
You peel it off to cool. Just keep going. You're okay.
No.
So I'm done with this apple. Morgan's finishing up her watermelon. Not yet. We'll wait. You finish that. We'll put the rings on together. You're doing great. So I will finish up while Morgan is finishing her beads. This is the metal ring. It just pops open. Slide your bag tag right on. How cute is that? That's awesome. How's everybody doing?
Too fast, too slow, medium, are we good? What I like to do for my back tags, I like to just take like a handful, well maybe not a handful, but I just like put it on my little table, whatever we're working on. And
You're doing great.
I'm like
do it on the side though. You're doing great.
Somebody also suggested you can use a toothpick. If you don't have
Yeah.
Oh, a
tweezers.
toothpick. That is a good idea. Just use your hands, honey, okay? There you go. Good job. You're doing great.
I still see the whole entire green part.
No, you're fine. Good job. Any other questions on the ironing? Did that go a little bit better this time for everyone? And we love hearing your Perler tips. Sometimes the things that we don't think about, like using a toothpick.
Or clips.
Good job. Almost done. I love it. Oh yeah, you still have the green. That's okay. You're doing great.
I'm done with my pink, and now.
Here's something else that we did earlier.
Oh,
You
I
keep
love
going.
that project.
So here we used a circular pegboard and made the watermelon that way. Wasn't meant to be a bag tag. We didn't leave a hole open, but it was just a cute little design. You can put this on a shelf or keep it somewhere.
Into
Mhm.
a bookmark.
Good. You just keep going. What are some other shapes that you guys have made? Some other projects that you've done? Maybe out of one of our project books
We
or
would love to
Perler.com. We would love to hear. So Morgan has about one more row of green to go.
Suggested we simply make good gift tags.
Oh, a
Yes.
gift tag. Yes, that is a
I've done
great
that
idea.
before.
We have tied one on the front of a birthday present when we've given a birthday present.
Maybe
Teachers
like a
love
gift bag,
Perler projects.
gift bag.
On a gift bag. Okay. So someone asked if you could use a Cricut Easy Press, and we have used that before. You can use it. It does work very well. We chose to use a household iron today because we figured that's what everyone would have, but either work great. Great job.
Somebody also suggests giving the apple to your teacher.
Yes, that would be a great.
We're probably going to give ours to a teacher.
Alex has made earrings and coasters.
Ooh, earrings and coasters. That's awesome. Jewelry. We've made jewelry out of Perler beads.
And after this video, you guys should definitely try to Perler too. It's like do another project or something.
Yeah. And
It is
see,
very
Morgan
fun.
is leaving her
hole. Oh,
space
yes.
for the
Make
change.
sure you guys have the hole.
Yep.
Ooh.
Ben in Wisconsin making a giant tiger. Still hashtag that. You could hashtag Perler. We'd love to see it.
And hashtag make it with Michael.
So Morgan's almost done. I'm going to get the ironing paper ready.
Yeah. I have, 2 more left.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys are going about the same speed.
We're going too fast, too slow.
Okay.
And wait, I'm just gonna do it.
Someone else that doesn't tip about
No,
using
I'll just-
You're
cross-stitch
good. I'm sorry, say that again.
patterns. A tip about using cross-stitch patterns to create further
Oh,
patterns.
so they're using cross-stitch patterns to create a perler pattern. That's a great idea. All right, so now I'm going to iron Morgan's project.
Yay!
Okay, so put the ironing paper on top. Please grab a parent or an adult to help you with the iron. So the iron, we have it set on medium for cotton. When you get your ring ready, it will need to just cool a minute. So again, you can see it going through the ironing paper.
This will ring.
You're gonna open up and get it ready? You got it?
Yeah, I got it. So if you guys can't open your ring, gotta twist back and then you gotta pull. Thank you.
Medium heat. You can see the beads starting to fuse.
Make sure I have that hole.
Yep, you do. Let me give beads on the end a little bit more. On the edge. Didn't quite get the iron there. Don't want to lose any beads when I flip it, which does happen. You just put them back in. Okay. Let's flip the project. Board comes off and I take that.
And your board might be a little warm, but that's okay.
That's okay. You flip the paper. Just a little bit of a fuse. Again, I don't like to close the beads all the way. That's your choice. There you have it. Now it's a little warm.
Be careful, don't burn yourself. It's warm.
It's a little warm. So just let it cool for 1 minute before we put the ring on. I'm going to take my iron and turn it off.
So this is how Jen's turned out.
Okay. So hopefully you guys were able to iron your projects, get them ready for the ring. It's just a little warm. It's okay though. Put it in the ring. And there's your bag tag.
And don't worry, it is supposed to look like this on the back.
Yeah. So put down here this way. So there's our bag tag. So there we have it. So today we made our bookmarks, we made our bag tags. We are ready. It's National Perler Day. We had a great time.
Yes.
Please remember to hashtag Perler
And
the
hashtag make it
at
with
Michaels. Make it with Michaels. I apologize. Make it with Michaels. So we had a great time. Hopefully you guys did. Thanks for joining us. And let's celebrate National Perler Day today. Keep making your Perler projects. Thanks, guys.
Bye.